So today we are going to be reporting and doing an overview of what a smart city is. So smart cities are technologically advanced urban areas that attempt to improve the quality of life by using different types of electronic methods. So everywhere around us, data is constantly being collected down to the traffic light. Sensors, software, and digital networks all around the city are constantly collecting to manage their assets and resources. Many cities have been utilized as prototypes to envision this future of technology. Big cities include Singapore, San Francisco, New York City, and specifically Songdo is the world's largest experiment in smart city production, which is pretty important as we are looking at prototyping these smart cities and making them more technologically advanced. I also wanted to demonstrate what an electric grid looks like. They essentially power the cities. So they are going to look like this, just little power cell towers, and they're going to power places such as factories, and they're going to power Tesla charging stations, and they're going to power all different parts of the city. So the first major component that I want to discuss is the cell phone, the mobile device. So here we go way back to the invention of the telegraph, developed by Samuel Morse in the 1830s and 1840s. The telegraph revolutionized long-distance communication, and it worked by transmitting electrical signals across wires. Another component of the telegraph is Morse code. Morse code is a method for transmitting telegraphic information by encoding text characters as dots and dashes. So this invention provided lots of innovation for the mobile phone, which holds the key to making cities smarter and most successful consumer electronic of all time. So smart cities include a number of applications and abilities that are small enough to fit in our hands, otherwise known as supercomputers in our pockets. They connect to many different applications and software in the cities, including Wi-Fi hotspots, and local area networks, which are able to connect these devices and allow them to use these applications. So another major important component that I want to talk about is the concern for environmental issues. And global warming could quite possibly be the greatest threat to smart cities. With cities clustering to shores and rising sea levels, the well-being of a city is a concern. So examples such as solar-powered cell towers are using the solar rays of the sun to produce electricity, as opposed to other methods that create pollution. Another example that I want to talk about within the environmental issue is the vehicle. So we go all the way back to when Henry Ford invented the assembly line. This allowed for the mass production of vehicles. And as vehicles are very convenient and efficient, getting us from point A to point B, they also do cause a lot of pollution. So car brands such as Tesla came out with an electric car that is able to be charged at a charging station and allows your car to tell you when your battery is running low so that you can find the nearest charging station. These are just some simple steps that smart cities are taking to create a greener environment. But we still do have a lot of work to do. So as technology advances, we'll be able to tackle these problems more easily. Another major important component that I would like to talk about is the GPS. So aerial photography is also known as the muscular and the skeletal systems of a city, and they help us look at the city as an organism itself. So you're able to view down to each city, down to the block, and this has created the GPS system, otherwise known as I like to call an electronic map. So What users used to have to do is they used to have to get a paper map and trace with their fingers where they are going. And now applications such as Apple CarPlay let us put the exact location in where we want to go, and it will visualize on our car where we are going, what streets we need to turn on, and etc. Applications such as Waze, which is another GPS application, can also tell a user if there are accidents, if there are cops coming, and if there is bad weather. So weather notifications are useful to alert the users when there's a storm coming so they can better prepare for it. In fact, the most popular item at Walmart to buy before storm is a Pop-Tart. And the city officials also can use the real-time map, and they can follow plows to determine what streets are safer to drive on and allowing users if streets are unsafe. So the GPS system overall is a very, very important component to smart cities. So my favorite part of the book was the very last page. When one asks themselves, what is the smartest city? The one you live in. Each city has a different culture of its own. For example, living in Buffalo my whole life, the invention of the chicken wing will never compare to any other restaurant that I go in another cities. Each city is technologically developing in their own pace. Obviously, cities such as New York City is more technologically advanced than Buffalo, but the good news is we advanced every day. Uber was recently brought into Buffalo, which allows these users to freely travel. As I was saying earlier, you're able to get a driver at the touch of your thumb. So that is a new advancement that we have in Buffalo. And I think that overall, cities have the capability of providing something for everyone when they are created by everyone in that city. We as a whole have to work from the bottom up. In the future, who knows what might happen? No matter where you go, there's always opportunities.